Okay, so here we are back again. I did my first recording yesterday, and now I'm back again today because this is pretty exciting for me. I published it to YouTube last night, and now we're just going to jump right in. Okay, so first thing on Reddit today is from subreddit Funny Memes, posted by Little Stuck a Battery Up My Ass. We've got a screenshot of a Twitter post that says your rap name is Lil, plus the last reason you were in the hospital. So I work kind of in a hospital, so my rap name is Lil Work Bitch. Okay, so here is what other people said. Lil Herpes. Oh no, there's no such thing as Lil Herpes. Lil Cold Sore. You went to the hospital for a cold sore? Yeah. Lil Blista. Ooh, Lil Blista sounds cool. Let's see. There's if you find out 2 months later by phone. What if it's just the tip? They're all Lil. Okay, Lil Depression. Ooh. We should collab. Lil suicide attempt over here. Make a band? The band name, Broken Hearts. More like Suicide Squad. With Lil Anxiety on the drums, Lil Overdose on the guitar, Little Sh on the keyboard, LOL Pancreatitis on back vocals, Little Cut Wrist on cowbell, Little Scoliosis on the bass, Little Children Bit Me and Put Bleach in the Cut is on cymbals. Yikes, a kid bit you and you put bleach in it? You put bleach on your skin? In an open wound? Ooh, that was not smart. Little Strangled. You got strangled? By a person or something else? On backup vocals. On backup vocals. Little Strangled. Ooh, my life is good. Let's see. Nikki Six already took that job. He plays bass, not guitar. Who's Nikki Six? Did he get strangled? Or did he get something else? Let's see. I'm a guitar player and I got Lil Overdose. Little Injection Infection on the guitar. Let's go to the next one. Lil Vasectomy. Oh, good for you. Yeah, if you know you don't want kids, and you're a dude, take care of it. Hey bro, same. How are we going to differentiate our new careers? Maybe start a supergroup. Call it No Sugar Daddies Here. You can still be a sugar daddy without having kids. That's actually the whole point. You don't have kids, but you have a sugar baby. And a sugar baby is nothing like having a kid. Okay, next one. Little scraping placenta out of my uterus after spontaneous childbirth. Yikes. Little dementia. Little dementia. Oh, look at all this. How long does this go on? Little dementia. Oh, way too long. Okay, go back. Yep. Let's close that one. Little concussion. Little butt cancer. Ayy. It's the butt cancer gang. Colon cancer fucks ass. DW. I'm right there with you. Yes, it quite literally does. Much love all. Rough stuff. Little grandpa dying. Little chemo. That's catchy. Little cancer. Spelled CANSAH. Little accident. Using your birth name is kind of cheating. Was waiting for you to show up. Little electric scooter. Yep, that's a good one. Elaborate. We've got an emoji of a scooter. A lightning bolt, a peach, and a surprised face. Lightning, peach, surprise. Scooter, lightning, peach, surprise. You were riding a scooter when lightning shot up your ass, which naturally surprised you. It happens. I read that as scooter up the crack equals pain. Ooh. No, he was riding a scooter when there's electrocution that makes his butt bloated like peaches. So he was so embarrassed he went to the hospital. We've got a wine glass, a beer mug, a rocket to the moon, and someone crying. Oh. You put all your money in AMC. You put all your money in GameStop and you went to the moon and then you cried. But everyone's crying right now. The stock market is no bueno. Let's see. But if you buy stuff, now, if you buy stuff when it's super cheap, and then hopefully someday it'll recover. Let's see. Little erectile dysfunction. You went to the hospital for that? You can just... Well, I guess you go to the hospital to see a specialist and get a prescription. Okay. I'm pretty sure they do that stuff online now. You can just, fill out some form on the internet and they'll just send you Viagra. You don't even have to see a doctor. Men have it so easy. Get out of here. Okay. Little suicide attempt. Little shit and blood. Little hemorrhoids. Little UTI. I'm spending a lot of time on this one. Little ball check. Little bumpy, little lumpy. Little lumpy. Okay, get out of here. You're going to spend too much time on one thing. Close. Okay, subreddit technology. Oh, I read this one earlier. So depressing. So, you've got these tech CEOs saying that their work from home, remote workers are secretly working more than one job and they're upset, so they fire them. And I'm like, okay, but were they doing a good job? Did you fire 2 competent, proficient employees that were doing what they were supposed to do and getting the job done, and you were just upset that they had 2 jobs? Were you upset that they didn't put more effort into your company? But if you want them to put more effort into your company, then you've got to pay them more. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know all the details. I don't know if the employees that were fired, if they weren't meeting their goals or their benchmarks. If you're not able to do both jobs, well then, yeah, I guess you're going to get fired from one of them. But if you're able to do both and you're good at both, then I don't see the problem. Let's see. Teacher gets punched in the face by a male student after she slammed a classroom door on his arm. Ooh. Do I want to look at this further? Yes. Okay. Is there sound? Oh. That's the teacher? Is the teacher the person in these little Adidas tights? That looks like a child. Oh. So, yeah, the teacher is the person that looks like a kid wearing Adidas tights. Which is, are you teaching PE? Are you the PE teacher? But then, whoa. Okay, what the fuck, miss? Let's look at these comments. Okay, this thread won't be locked. Mods will monitor comments and reports and issue bans as needed. All right, okay. That means it's going to be extra controversial. Dun dun dun. Based mods, very based. I'm so sick of seeing the locked award before I get to share my shitty text that nobody sees. Let's see. Let's go to the next comment. And it says, I don't know what happened, but thank goodness this video was taken. Yeah, the first portion of she about to lose her job makes me wonder what the fuck happened before this. Having gone to a school like this, I imagine whatever she was doing was the farthest thing from something that could get her fired. Having gone to a school like this, I imagine whatever she was doing was the farthest thing from something that could get her fired. Kids weirdly imagine rules. If a situation required her to regain control of her classroom and it led to her forcing the student out, that could be seen by a dumb teenager as over the line. These kids are experts at pretending the rules only apply to those who give a fuck. Obviously, Youngin didn't know what to do once he was actually handled. Welcome to the system, kiddo. You'll never get out. Recently saw a video on the front page of Reddit of a teenage boy deliberately annoying or antagonizing people on the streets with a camera. Once people confronted him, he would just act as if he wasn't deliberately trying to stir the pot and say stuff like, "Thanks for the views, man. This is just what I wanted," and try to frame them as Karens. It was working too. People in the comments were on board, and the people in the videos were never doing anything wrong, just out for a walk with their dog, when all of a sudden a 16-year-old is shoving a camera in their face. Let's go to the next comment. Let's see. Here is a longer clip of what happened. The dude indeed seems to be blocking the door with his feet, and the teacher being all slammy with the door, yet still seems that there was more going on before that led to the escalation. This should be at the top, provides way more context, and makes you wonder why the beginning parts were edited out. Okay, let's go check it out. What? Yikes. Okay. Close that. Yeah, I used to go to a school like this. I swear a lot of the kids would try and gaslight teachers daily. Like a kid would do something clearly bad, but all of the kids would act like nothing happened or the teacher saw it wrong until they were so overwhelmed they just let it go. Let's go to the next one. Who are the scariest types of people? Let's see. The scariest kind of person would be someone who manipulates and lies like it were normal because they'll easily get you to do things and make you think it was your idea. My ex-boyfriend was probably the most skilled liar I've ever seen. I had seen him countless times straight up lie to people to their faces without missing a beat. It was unnerving how easily he could lie at the drop of a hat and actually make it sound like the truth. It was both impressive and terrifying. Even years after breaking up, I'd always wondered how many lies he'd told me without me even knowing. I had a friend or coworker like that. He seemed very earnest and honest, and then one day he lied to me about something big, and I knew it was a lie. Had I not known for sure he was full of shit, there's no way I would have pegged it even as suspicious. Completely removed my truth bias for him. And once I began viewing interactions with him with that light, he was a bit easier to predict. Next one. In my experience, someone who calls you their best friend just after meeting them. Happened to me twice. They are usually manipulative and abusive. Anyone who tries to get close super fast is an automatic no. A little known fact is that love bombing can take many forms, and not just in a relationship. It can happen on friendships too, or even from an employer. My previous boss was like this. This was one of my first real jobs out of college, and she spent the first few months telling me how amazing I was. She would pay for me to fly around the country, to go on super high-level business trips, and even meet congressmen. Then, of course, like a switch, the gaslighting and manipulation came. Suddenly, everything I did at my work was wrong, and I was a terrible employee who would have been fired if I had been working for anyone else. I figured out her ruse pretty quickly. This wasn't my first rodeo when it came to people like this, but I had been trained to look out for it more in partners or friends, not in an employer. Wow, this is exactly what happened to me at a previous job. For months and months, I was the golden child and admittedly getting all sorts of special treatment and praise from the owner. Then, after some time, it suddenly flipped and I was the worst of the worst. He was basically doing me a favor allowing me such a difficult, useless person to work here. Endless nitpicking of my work and direct insults to my character and personality. I was there 6 years, and let me tell you, I'm still working through the psychological damage it did. The world is full of defective people. The sooner you learn to recognize and avoid them, the better off you are. You'll be better prepared for the next one. You are stronger now. What's the psychology of the people who do this? Do they know they're doing it? It's so strange to me. It depends on person to person. Some people are just pure evil and love building up and tearing others down for their own enjoyment or feeling of power. I have met someone like this. Others are just not all there mentally and can't accept that sometimes mistakes happen that aren't the complete fault of one person and feel the need to lash out to avoid taking any blame themselves. Both can be the result of the way people were born, or they could be the result of childhood trauma. It can also be a mixture of both. I'm just the opposite. I fully blame myself heavily for everything. LOL. Oh. Trauma bonding. Let's see. People who feel justified in using violence every time they get the least bit annoyed. Yes. Lie with a straight face and have no empathy. Those obsessed with another person to an extreme point, be it a celebrity or an ordinary person. A charming sociopath. I have a hunch that I know one, and I call their behavior turning on the charm to get things to go their way. I can tell when they are going to ask me for something because I see their behavior switch. A lot of the time, though, a psychopath's charm is obviously superficial, but throw high intelligence into the mix and you have a truly terrifying combination. Let's open this up. Psychos have an intrinsic craving to hurt others, but sociopaths do not. They're just okay with doing it to people they don't care about. It's important to recognize that these disorders are independent from personality, although they affect it, of course. There are plenty of sociopaths that are good people and do not act callously, but it is out of charity rather than empathy for others. But why would they want to offer charity if they didn't have some kind of empathy? That's weird. It is out of charity rather than empathy. But why do any charity if you don't feel empathy? Just because a person's mind is wired for sociopathy doesn't make the contents of their mind evil. Maybe there will come a time when society will take and understand and rehabilitate approach to sociopathy. Many of the worst human problems come from the dismissal of the humanity of others. Psychopath and sociopath are both pseudoscientific terms. Neither are actual diagnosable conditions in the psych field. The definitions of both exist in a state of flux and interchangeability among those outside the field. There is no actual definition for either in psychology because they're outdated terms. The closest you'll find is antisocial personality disorder, which includes symptoms that are associated with sociopathy and psychopathy. Like many other forms of mental illness, symptoms present differently for different people, So some may lean towards violence, while others just don't empathize or are prone to manipulation. Okay. So again, this is who are the scariest types of people, and K Money Fresh says, groups of teenagers. Living in Chicago, I've learned that scary guy on the train will likely leave you alone, but the group of 14-year-olds walking towards you on the sidewalk might jump and rob you. This 100%. I'm from the Western Burbs, but the McDonald's I used to work at was the same one that a group of teens lured a mentally challenged individual to get him alone, then murdered him. What? A group of teens lured a mentally challenged person to get him alone and then murdered him for no reason. All right, I'm done with this one. Moving on. Close. Here we go. All right, we've got a white people Twitter subreddit and a screenshot of a Twitter post. The title says, every time I think it's impossible to hate this man even more, he opens his mouth. Ben Samuel says, Kanye West doubles down on anti-Semitic tropes. Too many to list here, frankly, and rejects an invitation to the Holocaust Museum. I want to visit Planned Parenthood. That's our Holocaust Museum. Ooh, buddy. Next fucking level. Okay. In an act of defiance and in solidarity with the women of her country, and for the first time in 43 years, a female Iranian athlete, Alnaz Rikabi, competes in an international event without her mandatory headscarf. She will almost certainly face persecution once she is back in Iran. She should not go back to Iran. Let's see. Can she just stay somewhere else? Let's do it one more time. I wish they would show the whole clip of her competing. But yeah, to make that big of a statement on a big stage and have to compete and perform, that's pretty impressive. Must be hard to climb rocks when she has a giant pair herself. I thought you meant her breasts and was confused for a moment. They're like bags of sand, not rocks. I dated this girl for a while. She was a really nasty freak. She just loved to get down with sex all the time. It was like any time of day she was like, yeah, let's go. I'm so nasty. And I'd be nailing her and she'd be like, oh, you're nailing me. Cool. That was a lame comment. What's your problem?
It's a reference from Superbad.
Oh, okay. I was just informed that it was a reference from Superbad. I just thought this person was an asshole. Okay. All right. Never mind. Oh, wait. Is it from 40-Year-Old Virgin? Maybe. Okay. So maybe this person isn't an asshole. They were just... Put it in quotes. I don't know. Anyways, for the people that haven't seen the movie or haven't seen it in a long, long time. Okay. Amazingly brave. I hope that she can go home and not be made a victim of the regime. Otherwise, she should be given asylum. Yeah, she definitely should, and so should her family, because I'd be worried about them too. It would have been really nice to actually see her climb in the video as well. Yes, I would have liked that, because that's what she's there to do. She's there to perform and compete. Let's see. Next one. Any chance she doesn't have to go back? Yes. Or was that never a possibility? This is from today. Still not clear if she will choose to go back or seek asylum. I'd love to think she'll be safe if the world sees this video. But the Ayatollahs are murdering school children. It's not like they give a fuck about bad publicity. I'm sure some country will take her. Hell, she can come to the U.S. This is quite optimistic. The U.S. has a citizenship path given to people who are very talented, like athletes, artists, and actors. She can almost certainly enter with that, although it could take a while to process. She is one of the best climbers in the world. An athlete at her level will definitely be offered asylum. Yeah, that's kind of sad too. Like, why do you have to be the best climber in the world just to have safety? Fun fact, she has now broken the mandatory hijab law that has a penalty of paying a fine and light imprisonment. She also may be charged with treason, breach of national security, and defying God, punishable by death. They can make up any laws they want. They can have her confess on national TV that the deputy director of the CIA personally delivered a truckload of diamonds to her supplied by Israel. Nobody believes their lies. She has bigger balls than all of their goons and genocidal Revolutionary Guards. Yeah. Yeah, don't go home. All right, ask men. Men of Reddit, what is one thing that you keep from your significant other that could end the relationship? All right, let's see what these idiots posted. All right, the reason we are together today is because I called to reconnect a couple years after we broke up. I thought I was calling someone else. Oh, no. I had this exact issue with an ex. We haven't dated at any point. It was just a middle school crush that I met again in college but never spoke to. We were in different careers. I stopped talking to her quickly and for like a year. Then I called her by mistake while trying to call someone else. That mistake took me to a path of meeting one of the most amazing persons of my life. Oh, you had me in the first half. One of the most amazing persons in my life. Things didn't work out and we ended in bad terms. Okay, never mind. But it certainly was curious how something so small changed my life in so many ways. Okay. Let's see what's next. I don't like her mother. To me, she's a bad person who tries to see the bad in others, and who sees people who work as service, retail, etc., as below her. I've yet to hear her say something nice about someone who isn't herself. So you think that if you tell your SO that she'll break up with you? Let's see. Sometimes I watch shows we're watching together without her because she's super extroverted and wants to talk to me during it. It usually starts as us discussing plot details and always ends up evolving into her trying to give an entire TED Talk. I enjoy having short exchanges of thoughts about the plot, but I prefer to watch and enjoy the story and then discuss it after. We've talked about it and she understands how I feel, but inevitably ends up doing it again. She would be upset if she found out, but it allows both of us to enjoy the show the way we both want to. Mine is the opposite. She falls asleep halfway through the show. So I end up watching another episode. Dude, same. Every freaking night. End up watching the same episodes night after night. I'm only laughing because I'm also guilty of this. My poor boyfriend. There's been so many times where I'll go to restart the show where I left off, but I fell asleep and he stayed awake. So he has seen the same episode of something multiple times, like multiple nights in a row. And so that's why I'm laughing so hard. But I wouldn't break up with him for going ahead in the show without me. Anyways, so yeah, if your girlfriend would potentially break up with you because you watch the show by yourself once in a while, that's a little questionable. All right. That's something to laugh about, not something to break up about. Okay. Sometimes I go to the movies without my wife because I'm a huge movie buff and a fan of the theater experience, and she can't stand still for the movie long enough to pay attention. I get the big popcorn tub and soda with ice cream to top it off. These poor guys. This is so benign. I wouldn't break up with someone for this. That's funny. And she probably has undiagnosed ADHD. She probably needs some help. Let's see. Self-care is really important for a happy relationship. If I found out my husband would go to the cinema without me, I wouldn't mind. Good for you for treating yourself. Yeah, when my boyfriend goes out of town, I usually buy movies with his credit card. I ask him first. I text him, and sometimes he doesn't text back fast enough, and I still do it. But it's usually like, yeah, sure, you can get that movie. Anyways, I love me a good chick flick. Okay, our extremely high maintenance child has crippled our relationship. I really think we are both thinking this, but don't say it. Well, you should definitely talk about it. And this is something that you can totally fix. I mean, I shouldn't say that. It's not a simple, easy fix, but it's something you can both work to fixing and get help. You can ask for help from other people. Yeah, there is always help out there. Like, you just have to go looking for it. Our extremely high maintenance child has crippled our relationship. Let's see. I mean, what kind of high maintenance? How much high maintenance? I mean, yesterday we read that god-awful post. That poor guy with the basically brain-dead sister. Now that, I could see that as super duper difficult. And that was, I don't even want to think about that post from yesterday. But an extremely high maintenance child will probably have a significant impact on everything in your life. And the relationship is one of those things. Kids will do that. My husband and I took a trip with no kids and was a game changer. We make time for us now, and it's the best thing we could have ever done. We had basically become roommates now, and it's like a brand new relationship. Cool. Let's see. This doesn't read as someone with typical kids, likely childhood illness or physical mental disability. Parents of kids like that often don't get to take time away from them. It's literally impossible due to costs or logistics. They tell you kids are an 18-year commitment, but people rarely mention it could be for the rest of your life, and no one is going to help you. All right, next one. All right. Sometimes when she's not around, I buy chocolate, eat it, and don't save some for her. Oh, get rid of him. This is totally a deal breaker. Fucking psycho. Shit escalated quickly. I agree. This is the type of shit I come on Reddit for. My mind has been blown that this guy even admits it on Reddit. Dude's playing with fire. Oh, can't you be nice and just fuck a hooker in our front yard? Oh, that's great. Can't you be nice and just fuck a hooker in your front yard? Yeah, who the fuck buys chocolate, eats it alone, and doesn't save it for them? That's so mean. It's like the meanest thing. Okay. Let's see. But if you have a guard and a hooker, a triangle of interest, so to say. That's what the hooker said. Okay, next one. I let the dogs in the room. They aren't allowed sometimes. I think she knows, but she's threatened to kill me before leaving me. So who knows? Oh, rest in peace, Jose. Nice knowing you all. We could have died, or worse, broken up. If I prioritized myself in the relationship similar to how she does, there would be no relationship. Sounds like the talk needs to happen, man. Relationships should be a two-way street with equal effort on both sides. If I prioritized myself in the relationship similar to how she does, there would be no relationship. Yeah, I could see that. Like, if she's prioritizing herself and doesn't spend any time with you and you're always reaching out to her. But you can talk about that. That's if she's reasonable. If she's reasonable, you can talk about that. Let's see. 13 years and going strong. The secret is we both try to put in the 60%. Trick is finding someone who wants to put in 60%. Congrats on finding them. 60%, that's all it takes? Oh, there was a comment that was removed, so that's why I don't understand the 60% part. Let's see. My maths are short-circuiting. A fellow who got deleted said, all relationships are 60-40. That's fine as you're both trying to be the one putting in the 60. Obviously, you can't both succeed at the same time, and that's okay. Oh, okay, I get it. That's a good way of thinking about it. Fellow who got deleted said, relationships are 60-40, and that's fine as long as you're both trying to be the one putting in the 60. Okay. That's truly a wonderful way of putting it. It explains me and my fiance to a T and answers the question I've had no answer to for a long time. So thank you. I always laugh when people say, you have to give it 100% all the time. Fucking tryhards? That sounds exhausting. Oh, gonna be honest, man, that doesn't sound like a good relationship. But also, I don't know anything about you guys, so what do I know? Yeah, I got out of a relationship like that a couple months ago, and this comment hit home. She was really selfish. She clearly didn't love me enough. But now I'm actually doing pretty good. It surely feels good to talk to a woman about something I care about, and they at least pretend to care. LOL. Hope OP can make it work if that's what he wants. I tried. She was even the one to break up with me, and even though I miss her, I don't feel sad most of the time. All right, next one. Okay. Okay. So where we live, you can write your name and number on milk cartons and throw it with the rest of the paper trash for recycling. You win money if your carton gets pulled. Oh, that's cool. Where do you live? My wife is really into it, at making sure to write her name and number on everyone. And if I'm the one to throw one, I write her name and number for her, and she's thankful for it. Now, I don't recall what she did, but it had me really annoyed at her. I had finished a carton of milk and cleaned it out and folded it for disposal. This is probably the most petty thing I've ever done in our relationship. As a way to get back at her, I wrote my name and my number instead of hers. I'm taking it to the grave. Edit, wow, thank you for the gift. Edit 2, and thank you all for the awards. I didn't expect my silly little story of pettiness to be my most upvoted and awarded Reddit interaction. LMAO, where on earth has a trash raffle, though? Is it Canada? I bet it's Canada. No, wait, they have bags of milk. The mystery continues. We live in Oslo, Norway, of course. Europe's Canada. Ice? Check. Moose? Check. Funny accents? Check. A mining petrostate that violently suppressed indigenous peoples into the late 1900s? Check. That reputation, whitewashed by generous social programs? Check and check. Oh no. Spot on. We are a pretty good country, I'd say, but far from a perfect one. Well, being from the world's moral center, USA, it's only my duty to let the rest of you know where you all fall short. Oh, I love it. Trash raffle. All right, I really like this one. This is my last one though. I don't want to spend too much time on this thread. Okay, sometimes I watch shows alone because I want to enjoy things. Okay, we saw that one already. Da, 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 da. Some of the things my mental illnesses make me think that would make her worry needlessly. I don't want my internal issues to become a burden on her. Oh, that's really kind of you, penis haver. Penis haver. Same. I only just told my partner that I sometimes have thoughts of self-harm, and I still didn't tell him how close I've actually come to acting on them or what my plan to act on them is. I don't imagine I ever will. He'd be so worried and want to fix it, which of course he can't. Please talk to someone about it though. That sort of thing can be nasty if left inside, but talking helps. Okay. All right, we've got Gayfish 350 over here. Nothing. I just want my girlfriend to think I'm adding something to the thread. I told her the question and now she's trying not to be bothered, but I can tell she's curious. Edit spelling. Edit 2. Wow. Did not expect this blowing up, but I can't thank you all enough. You made her way more curious about it. We were running errands and I had no idea it was blowing up. I keep my phone on my vent, and she noticed some Reddit notifications popping up frequently and started getting curious. She didn't take me seriously till she noticed those. Then I opened it and looked at her, and it has over 1,000 upvotes. So I had to show her, and she just said I'm dumb. And that's kind of sweet too. I thought it was hilarious. All right. That was good. It's already been 40 minutes? Dang. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up, but I wanted to finish on a very specific note. So hold on. Let me go here and find it. It was cockle bread. The origins of cockle bread. Today, there it is. So yesterday was my first time doing this, and I explained the reason was because I was on the road and I wanted to look at this article again, but I couldn't because I was driving, and I wished someone could have read it to me. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically it's today I learned that in the 17th century, English women made a love charm called cockle bread by pressing dough against their vulvas before baking it and giving it to the object of their affection. So I think the next time I come back, I might read this nice little Wikipedia post. But I don't know why I was thinking of that when I was driving. I don't know where that popped into my head. But yeah, this is where this all started. So I think next time this is where I'll start my third video. All right. Well, thank you for listening. I hope I helped you relax or, entertained you or whatever. And I'll talk to you later.